Okay, this is day 29 for Algebra 2. So the goal for today is dividing complex numbers. That's the topic. Objective, let's read this out loud. Ready and begin.
I will divide complex numbers and maximize the denominator.
Okay, good. So, for example, let's say we had 3 over I, okay, as a final answer. We don't like this as a final answer. Remember how we had the square root in the answer, right? We don't like that. It's the same idea. We don't like this I in the denominator. We don't like fractional exponents in the denominator. So what's the big word that you see up here that's been reappearing in itself in the last?
Rationalize.
That's the same idea, right? So over here, let's say we had 3 plus I in the denominator. What's the conjugate? 3 minus I. Okay? So those are just some things that you already know. It's very similar to what we've been learning. Okay, so you have the steps written down. They're on the board right now. Anyone need more time to write down the steps? Okay, if you're in the video, please pause the video here, write this down. Okay, here we go. So number 1, I should say simplify, my bad. Okay, so this is a term, okay? So we got negative 7 over negative 2i, okay? A few things wrong here. I have a negative divided by a negative. Right? I like trying to keep things positive as I can, so a negative divided by a negative is really positive, right? So we're going to change both of these to positive, okay? It's the same answer. In the denominator, you notice there's a 2 and then there's a 7 in the numerator. I can't really do anything with that. But I also have an I in the denominator. So remember how we had a square root in the denominator? I would multiply it by itself. Over here I have an I. Recall, tell your neighbor, what is I times I equal to? Talk to your neighbor. And then what's I squared equal to? Tell your neighbor. Good. So it would make the I disappear. So check this out. This is what you would do. I is up here. So you would take your I, and we're going to multiply by I again, because I know that I times I is I squared. So my new denominator would be 2I squared. Numerator would be 7I. Okay? And then I remember I squared is negative, so what's a negative times a 2? Negative 2, right? So I'm going to make my denominator negative 2. Numerator is going to stay as 7i. It's totally okay if I have 7i in the numerator, okay? Now I have a positive divided by a negative. This whole fraction I want to make either positive or negative. I is up here. So this is just normal simplifying. You should know. Positive divided by a negative is a negative. So what I like doing is putting the negative sign in the front. And then we have 7i in the numerator. Because this whole term is negative and the denominator is 2. Can't do anything else, so I box my answer. And that's it. That's how you do number 1.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah, it is pretty easy. It's the same idea as, square roots. Okay? Okay, so number 2 now. We got 9 over negative 8 plus 5i. So this whole denominator is its own parenthesis. It has its own set of parentheses. So we don't like this I here. So conjugate. Turn to your neighbor and describe what you think the conjugate for this one is. Conjugate. You could talk to your neighbor. What's the conjugate? Okay, what's the conjugate, everyone? Nope. The same first term. It's negative 8. And then we got 5i, and we're going to put a minus sign there because the middle term is plus. Okay? Okay? That's the conjugate. In case you didn't get it, that's it. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing in the numerator, same conjugate in the numerator. Okay, and then we're going to multiply. We got negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 64. 5i times 5i is 25i squared, and then I'm just going to put a minus sign in the middle. Okay? This is normal difference of squares when we multiply. Okay? Then we're going to multiply the numerator. 9 times negative 8 is negative 72. And then 9 times negative 5 is negative 45i. Okay? Simplify the denominator now. We got, what's 25 times I squared? Or I'm sorry, negative 25 times I squared?
Negative
25. Positive or negative?
Positive.
Good. So we're going to make that turn into a positive 25. Numerator, I can't do anything else with it. I'm just going to bring it down. And then I combine 64 plus 25 is going to be 89. And then write down my final answer. I definitely want to check, is there a number that goes into all 3 of these? Maybe 3 could have gone into all 3. But if you think about it, 3 goes into 90. Oh yeah, that's, yeah. That green part, that's the step right here. Some people get confused from here to here. This is why. Okay.
That's hacked.
Okay. Alright, cool. So that's numbers 1 and 2. Today's Thursday, so let's
By the way.
no, let's do this. Is that okay?
Yeah.
That way you get on someone to talk to. Okay, so today's Thursday. Let's have 4s. This is the 4th day of the week. 4s are going to teach the rest of the class or rest of the group about number 1, and then once the 4s are done talking, the 3s will talk about number 2. If there isn't a 4, let's have a 2 talk. If there isn't a 3, let's have a number 1 talk. No writing right now, so pencils down. Let's all talk. Okay, let's have those people talk. Go.
Let me tell you guys that.
So here we go, number 3. Okay. Here we go, number 3. It's supposed to say simplify. Okay. Turn to your neighbors. Describe a strategy you would use to do this problem. Okay, so I'm hearing a couple of strategies out here. I heard someone say, oh, just multiply by I, and then I heard someone else say multiply by the conjugate. Which one would you do? I heard 2 people, conjugate or I? Do we have a binomial in the denominator? No, so we're just going to multiply by the I. So you should be starting off with times I times I. Okay, 3 times I is 3I. Denominator, what's 8I squared equal to?
That's going to be
Negative 8I times I. I'm sorry. What?
8I squared.
Okay, and then 8I squared is really what?
Negative 8.
Good, so let's just write negative 8. Let's just skip a step on that one. That's okay. Okay? What's my final answer supposed to be? What's a positive 3I divided by a negative 8I?
Negative 3I over 8.
Good.
Yep.
That's it. Okay? I'm assuming you all worked with me on that one, right? Okay, now let's have you do number 4 by yourselves. Well, actually in your groups. You can work in your groups, okay? This one's like number 1. Go. Number 4, you should have, change it to, negative 2 divided by negative is really just a positive number, right? And then we have to multiply both the numerator and denominator by I. And then you should have simplified, you got negative I over 8. Some people will put a 1 in the front of the I. You don't need to do that. Actually, just take it out, okay? So that's it. That's number 4. Any questions on number 4? Okay, we're going to make it a little bit harder now. Here we go, number 5. Okay. Number 5. So turn to your neighbors and tell them what strategy you would use to simplify or rationalize this. Okay, what strategy are we going to use, everyone? Okay, what's our conjugate on this one? Negative 7 minus 3i or negative 7 plus 3i? I heard 2 answers. Good, plus 3i. We don't want to do a negative again, so we're going to multiply both the numerator and denominator by this conjugate. And then we're going to work it out, okay? So I'll start off the denominator for you. Negative 7 squared is 49, and then 3i squared is 9i squared. Put a minus sign in the middle. Numerator, we got 9i times negative 7 is negative 63i. And then 9i times 3i is positive 27i squared. Okay? Finish up my problem for me. Do not fix your boards. Here we go. So you should have realized that 27 times I squared is negative 27, right? Do you all agree? I'm going to put that first here. And then bring down negative 63i. Because isn't this a complex number? Don't I put the real part first? You see that? Okay. And then what's negative 9i squared really equal to? What's negative 9 times I squared? Positive 9. So 49 plus 9 is D8. Okay? I prefer that your answer is like this because this is a complex number, right? So the real number goes first and then the imaginary. Okay? Turn to neighbors and talk about where you made a mistake and how to fix it. Let's try number 6. You're doing this all the way through by yourself, okay? think about the complex number form and everything, and yeah, I'll give you 2 minutes. Go. All right, so here we go. Your answer should be the following. I walked around and looked at some of your iPads, so here we go. Your answer should be the following here. Negative 21 minus 30i over 149. Okay, turn to your neighbors, talk about where you made a mistake, or if you did it right, tell them, I did it right. Okay, so that concludes the lesson. 3 questions. The first 2 are the same. 3 questions, the first 2 are the same, and then the third one is different, but I think it's pretty easy to answer, so I want you to describe how rationalizing here is similar to other types of rationalizing, okay? I'll give you about a minute to discuss, and I'm going to call on you.